Good morning, YouTube. Listen, this is just a quick pop-in. I haven't been able to make a video because we've had some things going on. The first thing was I couldn't get a direct upload from YouTube. It kept cutting off, chopping off, whatever. So I am going to make up for those videos and then some. And we also had something else to happen. Had fire. We're fine. Everything's fine. The house is still here. Everything. I'll talk about that too. But I just wanted to pop in because I had something that was on my mind. I was listening to a video and something popped in my head about this old school, about old school versus new school or whatever. I want to talk about some things, and it's going to be about we're going to talk about life choices and career slash job choices. We're going to talk about things like that. All of this is within the same context, and it's going to be in another video, but I just wanted to say it while it was on my mind. I've got to the point where I really somewhat don't like the term old school anymore, and I'll tell you why. Now, I am, I guess, what some may consider old school. I know I am. I've always considered myself to be old school. However, the term has been used so much, and it doesn't mean what it used to mean. And I still look. I'm old school when it comes to me saying, look, I have values and morals that do not change. Okay. Now, the only thing, when it comes to certain things, I have opinions, values, and morals that have not changed and they're not going to. However, I have another way of looking at them. The immediate stance has not changed. The core of it has not changed. I just have another way of viewing them and I have another approach to them. But I am still old school when it comes to things like that. So, and there's a number of things that fall under that heading. But mostly, yes, I am old school, but I want you to know what my old school means. And for those of you watching, if you're talking about something that happened 10 years ago, it's not old school. Okay? All right. Now, I have some things that I don't budge on, that I don't move on. That's it. I have some things that I have changed my mind about, some things that I have turned, into. I found another alternative to things, but my core values, my core base, is still what it is, and it's not going to change. I don't see it changing. It's strongly rooted, and not because it was instilled in me. Now, yeah, well, no, I'll take that back. Yes, because it was instilled in me, but I have enough of my own sense and my own understanding to know when whatever's been instilled, if something was instilled in me that is not right. Okay, because after a certain point in life, you can determine whether or not, you can determine whether or not something is right or wrong. You really can. No matter what's been instilled in you, you can tell, okay, this was driven into me day after day from birth, but I don't agree with this, and this is why, and it's not right. But for the most part, I haven't been taught or instilled anything wrong. It's been right, and it's been right on point, and it's gotten me to the point where I am now, and it's going to take me through some more, and it's going to take my children to the same point and then some. It's enough to let them know what I knew, that if you see that there's something that's not right about this, or you don't think it is, that you have enough mind and sensibilities within yourself to seek out what you feel is the right method or the right way if you don't feel that it's right. So my parents instilled a lot in me that's not going to change, but they also instilled in me enough to know that if I don't see it fit, if I know that it's not for me or it's not right, that I have the right to pursue what is. Look at something in another way. It's never been tunnel vision in my household with my parents. Never. They've always taught us to look outside the box, but don't lose yourself in someone else's ideology. Follow that. This is what we're giving you, but we're also giving you the freedom to look at things in another way. And so we're going to talk about that. And one of the things was something I was just listening to, this old school versus new school. I'm pretty much, like I said, I consider myself old school, but I don't think that I look at things in the same way. I know that I don't. I've just got another way of looking at things. I have a different approach to things. If you've got the base question and you need to give an answer, that's two things that no matter where you're from or who you are, you're always going to have. You're going to have a question and an answer. It's your path between question and answer that brings together who you are. Okay? So, I'm going to show you my path. Anyway, yeah, I want to talk about that because one of the things is, again, making your own choices, making your own decisions, and not just doing it because you decide you want to break away from what you were taught. That's not right. I'm going to do this. Well, that's not, because, excuse me. My thing is, and when I do make this video about it, I want people to know right away. Please feel free to leave your comments. And so, I don't want to give a so-called disclaimer because I think that's almost a setup for negative comments. But I'm going to step out on a limb and say this anyway. All comments are welcome. Please be respectful. I understand, everybody doesn't always see eye to eye, and that's fine. And sometimes, people can say things and really change my mind about a particular thing. Or even if you don't change my mind, you might make me see it from another point of view. And I can respect that and I can appreciate that. Please just do it respectfully, okay? Now, I want people to know that I want them to give their comments and their feedback, and I don't want anyone to feel that they can't say what they want to say. I promise you, I will not allow anyone to come down in these comment sections and attack you. I've seen a lot of that go on. I've been watching YouTube a long time, and I see people get attacked in the comment section. They're not even commenting to the person that posted the video. They're back and forth with each other and double teaming and tag teaming and dog piling on someone just because they simply don't agree. They didn't have to be disrespectful or anything, but just because they don't agree with the sentiment of something, they get attacked. I promise you, I will not allow that. If I have, now I'm not going to disable comments. I'm not going to do that. But if I have to go in there into the settings somewhere and find out, it's somewhere in there, I saw it, but I got to go look for it again. If I have to hold up comments for approval, I will do that to guarantee, to ensure that no one gets attacked because of their thoughts. And I tell you, we're in a day and age where if you're not politically correct or if you're not following the trend of the week, there's something's wrong with you. People want to jump on you. And I don't want that. I want people to feel free to make the comments that they want to make, whether it's the popular sentiment or not. It doesn't have to be the popular idea. If that's what you think, if that's what you feel, that's what it is. And I know for a fact, and a lot of that has to do with me because I'm that way. Um, a lot of my ideas and viewpoints are not the popular uh, thought these days. It's not. It's not. It's just not. Now, whether or not it's true is another issue. There's a lot of people who feel the way I do, but they don't voice that because it's not the popular public perspective. It's not politically correct. It's not what's trending. It's not what's, so you've got to be careful. You can't admit how you really feel on something. And to me, I, I kind of give I look at you a little sideways with that because I feel like you should be able to speak up for yourself at all times. And I understand you don't want to put yourself in an arena to be bashed or attacked or whatever. Nobody likes that. But you've got to feel strong enough to say and uphold what you feel and what you believe in the face of adversity. Just because it's not the popular opinion doesn't mean that it's wrong. So if that's what you think, if that's what you feel, then say so. Say what you want to say. But I know that I'm going to say some things that may not be, the hippest, coolest, up to date things. But it's me. It's how I feel. It's what I believe, and it's not going to change. Okay. So that video is coming. Give me just a little bit of time. I need about a half an hour, 45 minutes. Let me get myself together, pull it together, and I will be back to talk about it. And those things are career and job choices, and it's about relationship choices. So maybe I need to split that into two different things. The whole thing is these two tie in. They do. Career choices and relationship choices do tie into each other. You might not think it does, but it really does. And whether or not anybody wants to realize there are male roles and female roles when it comes to different counterparts, there is. There is. So when you have relationships, marriages, or if you're working towards marriages, things like that, you do have different counterparts. So I know some people, they might think, oh, well, just because you have children doesn't mean that that's the role of the woman. The mom's supposed to stay at home with the kids while the father goes out and is the breadwinner or whatever. However you think, whatever you want to think, fine. I understand that. Because you both had children, so you both have roles. But there are some roles. And really, as nurturers, most of the time, females are the most nurturing party. Most of the time. Didn't say all. If it was, we wouldn't have mothers out here going to prison for, I won't even say it. Anyway, there's a number of things, and there are some things that physically make a difference between males and females, and we all know that. But for some reason, people get upset when you point it out. I don't think it's so much when you point it out, I think it's how you point it out. But clearly, we are different, and we operate differently. And instead of being upset about these differences, we need to embrace our differences because that's what makes us us. Okay? So yeah, when you're in certain types of relationships, there are roles that are followed. That's just it. Some follow them, some don't. But there are some that are ingrained in us by nature, and there's some that are instilled in us by parents, and there are some that are put upon us by life. But again, you've got the beginning, you've got the end. The only thing we're discussing is the route that it took to get there. Question, answer. Now, the main thing is the outcome, right? So let's see how things turn out. Anyway, this was long enough. This was just supposed to be a quick pop in. I will talk to you guys later. Let me pull it all together and we'll talk. Bye. Oh, I don't know what it is.